Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing another cook and clean with me for you guys. I haven't done one of those in a few weeks, and I know that most of you guys really enjoy those videos, so I wanted to give you guys another one. And today's recipe was actually inspired by an episode of MasterChef that I watched, and I've been kind of binge watching that with everything going on. I've been at home a lot more, so I was inspired by this recipe. It's my own spin on it, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And I'm going to actually be reorganizing my kitchen, and I know I recently did like a kitchen speed clean video, but I ended up buying this over-the-door pantry off of Amazon, and I cannot wait to put that into my kitchen. I'm basically going to redoing most of my cabinets in there, and I thought I'd take you guys along with me, give you some cleaning motivation, organization motivation, decluttering, everything, just kind of cover all the bases today. So if you guys have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get started.
I know that I care, nothing can change that. Talk to me, babe, fight for me, babe.
So I wanted to hop back on here real quick and tell you guys that I just got this pantry off of Amazon. My mom has Prime, so I was able to get it really quickly, and it was a great way to kind of start decluttering and continue my spring cleaning, especially with the quarantine and everything going on. It was definitely time for me to get some stuff done around the apartment, and I was super happy with how this turned out.
For you, you made it easy for me, yeah. Nothing that you could ever do would make me leave you, baby. I feel for you, you made it easy for me, yeah. Nothing that you, baby, you make me lose my mind. Maybe you wanna stay the night. Time goes fast, I don't care. I've known you long enough. Baby, you make me lose my mind. Maybe you wanna stay the night. Time goes fast, I don't care. I've known you long enough. When we go, we lose track of time. You and I, we can stay inside. Time goes fast, I don't care. I've known you long enough. Yeah, I wanna get there, I wanna get there. Just take my hand. Yeah, I wanna get there, I wanna get there. Just in my mind. Yeah, I wanna get there, I wanna get there. Just take my hand. Yeah, I wanna get there, I wanna get there. Just in my mind.
We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me you're lost, feel so blue, leaving me on the spot so confused. Oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream.
So by having this pantry, you guys, I was able to clean out this entire drawer. This used to be filled with pasta and snacks and kind of like miscellaneous pantry items. And I was also able to move all of my spices and seasonings over to the one side of my cabinets, and then move everything else like breads and cereals and things that wouldn't actually fit in that over the door pantry. I was able to put those in there and really condense everything, which made it super convenient for me, especially considering how often that I reach for some of these items. And then that left my entire spice cabinet open right by my stove, so I cannot wait to utilize this space better.
We left the room of fight once again, love. Yeah, we said some things we didn't mean, hun. I always start the fight and you put the fire out. I always say too much and I get jealous. I never hear you out and that is selfish. I always start the fight and you put the fire out. I'm sorry for the way we left things, I know you're hurting. I didn't mean to start a war, I'm still learning how to talk about my feelings. You know it gets hard sometimes. Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two. Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two. Always keep my guard up and I'm sorry. I built my walls so high you couldn't climb them, but you're not the one to blame. I know this is all on me. I'm sorry for the way we left things, I know you're hurting. I didn't mean to start a war, I'm still learning how to talk about my feelings. You know it gets hard sometimes. Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two. Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two. Every road leads me back to you. 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 Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two. Maybe I just need some time, some space to figure out how to give my all to you. If you give me one more try, I might just realize that it will always be us two.
Alrighty guys, so here are all the ingredients that we're going to need for today's recipe. I have here in this bowl a bunch of freshly picked cilantro that I'm going to be using for my sauce, as well as some Spanish olive oil and some pre-cut bell peppers that I'll be dicing. I also have this ready rice, the basmati rice. I also have a pork loin that I just got from Kroger. They were on sale, so that inspired this recipe. I have 1 lime as well as a can of chicken broth. I also have these Goya empanada wraps that I'm going to be using as a topping. I'm going to crisp those up and make little kind of like a tortilla strip, but I really love the texture of these empanada ones. And for seasoning, I'm using cumin, some smoked paprika for some added spice, some Mexican chili powder. I'm also going to be using this Goya seasoning, the sazon. And then I'm going to be using onion powder and adobo seasoning. You guys know those are classics for me. And then I am also going to be using some turmeric as well. So the first thing that I wanted to do is go ahead and preheat my oven to 400 degrees. And then I'm actually going to be butchering down this pork loin a little bit. I'm going to get rid of some of this excess fat, and then I'm also going to be getting rid of some of the silver skin. So here's what I'm left. I'm left with 2 loins that I'm going to be using for today. I also ended up having a bunch of this spare like fat and everything that I thought I could render down and use in another recipe, and I also have 1 extra loin left over that I can use in the future or just refreeze. So to season this up, I'm going to be using that Goya sazon, and this one is the one that you can use on pork. Chicken is just the most popular one, comes in the orange box, and I'm going to be seasoning it all the way around, and I'm also going to be rubbing in these seasonings so that way they can penetrate a little bit easier and make sure that everything is nice and well coated. And I'm going to be doing this with all of these seasonings for the pork. So to cook the pork, I just have some olive oil in a hot skillet. I'm going to go ahead and sear those off on all sides until they get a nice crust on the outside. You guys can see here as I turn it, those spices are definitely getting nice and charred on there. And then I'm also going to be searing the tops and the bottoms, and then I will be sticking those into the oven. Now on to prepping my bell peppers. Like I said earlier, these are the pre-sliced ones that I just got at Kroger just to make my life a little bit easier. But I'm going to be cutting those down and dicing them, and then I'm going to infuse my rice with these. I know that when I was inspired by the recipe on MasterChef, they infused it into the rice with like some mango and things like that. So this is my Latino take on it. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip over my cutting board, and I'm going to prepare some of those Goya empanada wrappers, and I'm just going to be slicing those nice and thin, and I'm going to be taking the best ones, and I will be using those later in this recipe. So to prepare my cilantro oil, what I'm going to do is quickly blanch off the cilantro in some boiling water. And I'm talking, I put this in there for just a few seconds just to help release some of those oils that are inside the cilantro. And then I'm going to put those into an ice bath to stop them from cooking. I'm going to strain those out and quickly dry them with a paper towel to try to get out some of that extra moisture, just so that way my oil doesn't have that separation in there from having too much water to oil ratio. And I'm going to be using my Ninja Bullet, but you can use a regular food processor or whatever you have on hand just in order to blend it. You can also use a blender. And I'm going to be putting in a lot of this Spanish olive oil. Of course, you can use regular olive oil as well. And I'm just going to blend that up until it gets nice and thin. Then once it is all blended and well incorporated, I'm going to put that through a fine mesh strainer. This actually would be a really great time to use some cheesecloth if you have it. I do not, so I just use the fine mesh strainer. I'm going to lightly strain that into a measuring cup. I'm also going to be zesting 1 lime. I'm going to try to get as much zest off as possible. And when you're zesting, make sure you don't zest too far down. When you start seeing the white or the really light part of the skin, you don't want to go any further than that because that can get really bitter. And then I'm also going to be juicing that lime as well. I'm just rolling it on the counter with my hand in order to kind of get those juices to collect. And I'm going to squeeze that in with the lime zest, and I'm going to be tossing that in my rice as well. And then the bonus with the lime is you can cut it into small pieces, like really small pieces, and put it down your garbage disposal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start sauteing off those peppers in a separate skillet with just a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm going to start making my sauce in a pan. I'm going to put in the entire can of chicken broth because I'm going to be making a lot of sauce. Now, you guys, you can customize the sauce pretty much to how you like it. For me, I was really trying to replicate what I saw on MasterChef. So one of the big things was making a nice, really vibrant looking sauce. And I'm just going to thicken up that chicken stock with a little bit of flour. And then I'm going to be adding in my spices. I'm adding in the turmeric. I'm going to be adding in chili powder and a little bit of paprika. And of course, salt and pepper to taste. So to fry up the empanada wraps, I'm just putting those into a little bit of olive oil in a pan, and I'm going to be just doing a couple of test pieces first just to make sure that my oil is hot enough and that I can get the right crispness on those strips. And then for plating, this is kind of the fun part. I mixed in the bell peppers and the lime into the rice, and then I went ahead and plated the sliced pork on top of that. And I'm going to go ahead and pour my turmeric sauce around the outside. And the only thing I will say is I put a little bit too much of that sauce on here. I got a little carried away, but it turned out really, really good. And then I'm going to lightly drizzle the cilantro oil around that as well. And then I'm going to be topping all of that with the crispy empanada strips. So that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you got some really awesome cleaning, organization, and declutter motivation in here. I tried to do everything in this video for you guys because I haven't done a cook and clean with me in a long time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye!